Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a developing story in Rhode Island as a gunman opens fire at a school hockey game. Plus, what's being done after the blood supply in the Crossroads hits a critical low. And a longtime nurse receives recognition for her decades of service.
Well, lots of sunshine for today and warming weather into the week. It's going to feel like springtime until the weekend. We'll have more on your forecast coming up.
Plus, the latest in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. We start with a developing story this afternoon. At least 3 people are dead, 3 others critically hurt after a shooting at a high school hockey game. The gunman appears to have been targeting members of his own family. The gunman died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound after firing shots. That's according to law enforcement officials. One person killed was a young girl. Another victim later died at the hospital. 2 teams made up of students from multiple schools were playing in hockey games at the arena. The arena is about 5 miles north of Brown University, where a 48-year-old man opened fire in December, killing 2 students and wounding 9 other people there. Well, opening statements began today in the trial of a Georgia father. Prosecutors say he provided his son with a gun reportedly used to kill 4 people at a Georgia high school. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest as jurors begin to hear testimony in this case.
The high-stakes trial of a Georgia high school shooting suspect's father is officially underway. Colin Gray facing 29 criminal counts, including second-degree murder. In opening statements, prosecutors saying he gave his teenage son Colt a semi-automatic rifle as a Christmas gift that he allegedly used to shoot and kill 2 fellow students and 2 teachers back in 2024. Prosecutors say authorities urged Colin Gray to limit his son's access to guns.
This case is about this defendant and his actions. His actions in allowing a child that he has custody over access to a firearm and ammunition after being warned that that child was going to harm others.
But the defense argues Colin Gray did not know his son was a threat, saying the state just wants someone to blame.
Sometimes the truth is that the person who committed the act was hiding it. Sometimes the truth is that a family can be struggling, a child can be spiraling, and people can try to get that child mental health help. And still, something unthinkable can happen.
Prosecutors showing the jury what they referred to as a shrine of the convicted Parkland school shooter that Colt Gray allegedly had on his wall.
Now, this trial comes after the high-profile trials of Jennifer and James Crumbly, who were the first parents to be convicted in the U.S. after a school shooting. Their son Ethan was convicted of killing 4 students at a Michigan high school. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
The blood supply in the Crossroads is hitting a critical low, and local blood banks are asking for help. Normally, hospitals like to have at least 5 to 7 days supply of blood on hand. Right now, that number has dropped to less than 3 days. According to Debbie Davila with the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, some blood types are down to less than 1 day supply, putting real pressure on area hospitals. They're urging anyone who's eligible to roll up their sleeve and donate before the shortage gets even worse.
Of all blood types, we have a critical need for O-neg. O-neg is the universal blood type and can be given to any patient of any blood type.
Blood donations are used every day for trauma victims, surgery patients, cancer patients, and others who depend on blood transfusions to survive. That is why the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center is asking donors to step up. They are open 7 days a week, making it easy to find a time that works for you. Well, heading outside now, we're kind of on that brink of spring, almost summer-like temperatures, Mac. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. By the middle of the week, we're going to have mid-80s. I don't know if you saw that last frame. That was Trey Mining giving blood, so congratulations to him. All right, but tomorrow morning, we're going to be dealing with another round of fog. So if you're an early driver, even after midnight tonight, we're going to go soupy. It'll be quite soupy all over the area with half-mile visibility, so we need to be be cautious. If you've been through this before, you know the drill. Just take it easy as best you can. That will burn off. And yes, we're looking at, well, I like to call it spring-like temperatures because it's not spring yet. But we'll be talking about temperatures in the 80s coming up in a moment. Back to you, Shawna.
A local nurse is being celebrated for 45 years of hard work and giving back to her community. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley joins us. He spoke with the nurse today and has more on how she's been instrumental to the Crossroads area.
Yes, Shawna, in honor of Black History Month, I talked with DTAR's Assistant Chief Nursing Officer, Maggie Bearfield, about her dedication to serving patients since the 1970s and being a mentor in the nursing field. She's saying being a nurse isn't a job, it's what she's called to do.
A lot of times you feel like people don't watch you, and you didn't realize how many people have been watching you do this all this year. For them to recognize that from your employees, that's important.
Maggie Bearfield's mission to become a nurse started when she was younger, being a caregiver for her family, and she credits her church for teaching her what it truly means to help and serve others. Over the years, she became a mentor to countless nurses, always stepping in to guide and encourage. She says the most satisfying part of her job is simple, helping someone else succeed.
Every time or any time I got into a position of a leadership, I always wanted to say, okay, what can I do to make this better? And that's what kind of kept me going throughout the years. I want to make a difference in our service.
Bearfield started at DTAR in 1979 as a licensed vocational nurse, helping patients get healthy. 10 years later, she received her registered nurse degree after raising her family and working full-time. Her advice for people getting into nursing is to get their degree first because it'll pay off in the long run.
I love the new young nurses that come on, and I just want to make a difference in their life. Yeah, nursing is tough these days, but this is what you got to look forward to.
For Bearfield, she doesn't serve her community because of obligation, but being a caregiver brings her the most joy. Bearfield is a beacon of light to the people in the Crossroads, serving through healthcare and at her local church, raising children. Shawna?
If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email to staff@crossroadstoday.com. Two important dates are getting close in the upcoming March primary election. Early voting begins tomorrow and runs through February 27th. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail is Friday, February 20th. The March 3rd primary election will have many local, state, and national races on the ballot. The Department of Public Safety is hosting a public meeting to share details on a possible relief route around Bay City. A virtual meeting this Thursday will give residents a chance to review the proposals and weigh in from home. But if you prefer to show up in person, there's also a meeting set for Thursday at the Bay City Civic Center. For details on how to join the virtual meeting, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. And come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, to get more news, weather, and sports headlines. Well, the investigation into the presumed kidnapping of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother, Nancy, now in its third week. The FBI is analyzing DNA from a glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home. The glove appears to match those worn by the suspect, captured here in doorbell camera footage outside Guthrie's home the morning she disappeared. Late last week, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said authorities found DNA at Nancy Guthrie's property that did not belong to her or those in close contact to her. The FBI says it will not share evidence from the shooting of Alex Preddy with state investigators. That has Minnesota officials pushing back. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension confirmed today the FBI told them last week it will not provide any of the information or evidence it has collected in the January 24th shooting. Officials described the FBI's refusal as unusual and say they will keep pushing through legal channels and continue their own investigations even without access to key federal evidence. Well, stay with us straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. A legendary actor known for tough guy roles in classic films dies at 95. Plus, a concerning trend shows one type of cancer is killing more young adults, now considered the deadliest form for those under 50. Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall died peacefully at his home in Virginia. Duvall had an acclaimed screen career spanning 6 decades, best known for The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and many other tough guy roles. His family said those who wish to honor his memory are encouraged to do so in a way that reflects the life he lived, by watching a great film, telling a good story with friends, or taking a drive in the countryside to appreciate the world's beauty. Duvall was 95 years old. Colorectal cancer is now the deadliest cancer for U.S. adults under the age of 50. It's increasingly killing younger people, including actor James Van Der Beek, who died last week at the age of 48. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither goes over those red flags and explains how one action can not only detect cancer, but help prevent it.
It continues to be a concerning trend. Colorectal cancer is killing more young adults, with death rates rising in those under age 50 by more than 1% every year for more than 20 years, advancing this disease from the 5th most common cause of cancer death in the early to mid-90s to the most common in those under age 50 in 2023.
This is really an outlier and really something that needs significant attention.
Dr. William Dayhut with the American Cancer Society says deaths are declining for other cancers in young adults. It's only colorectal cancer deaths that continue to rise. There are 5 warning signs that many may dismiss: persistent abdominal pain, rectal bleeding, persistent diarrhea or constipation, unexplained weight loss, and iron deficiency anemia, often caused by hidden blood loss leading to fatigue and weakness.
Young people should not ignore any symptom that they find unusual, and that if they see their physician and they're told they're too young to have a problem, they probably need to see somebody else.
Dayhut says about half of the colorectal cancer deaths in young adults are in those between the ages of 45 and 49, and screening is lowest in that age group. A colonoscopy can find polyps, which can turn into cancer, and get rid of them.
If those polyps are removed, that reduces or can eliminate the risk of cancer from those polyps.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Dayhut says it's still unclear what's causing the rise in colorectal deaths in those under age 50, but says it's probably a combination of environmental and lifestyle causes. Heavy alcohol use, smoking, obesity, and lack of exercise all raise one's risk of this disease. A Minnesota family is celebrating a medical milestone. Their infant son received the first partial heart transplant for a baby in that state. The 8-month-old was born with a congenital heart defect called detransposition of the main arteries. After 59 days of searching for a donor match, the surgery was done. Fewer than 70 partial heart transplants have been performed on infants across the country. The procedure involves transplanting only the healthy parts of a donor heart rather than the entire organ. The Food and Drug Administration updated an existing peanut butter recall. More than 22,000 affected single-serve products were distributed to 40 states, including Texas. They include both peanut butter packets and small cups containing both peanut butter and jelly. The FDA's new designation for the recall is Class 2. That means consuming the product could cause temporary illness, but not likely anything serious or life-threatening. The recall comes after pieces of blue plastic were found in a filter at the production facility.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Lots of sunshine, beautiful day out there. Of course, Sunday was nice. That was a stormy on Valentine's Day, right? Hope your dinner or whatever went well and you didn't have stormy weather for that too. We're looking at a comfortable temperature right about now at 72. As you see right about there, no major wind problems, only southeast at about 10. We managed to get up to 75 this afternoon after a morning 45 low. Now the next few days, well, the temperatures are going to start moving up. We'll be in the mid 80s for the rest of the week. We'll have that forecast coming up. Well, the clear skies and sunny skies that we had today, I mean, you can't complain. It was really enjoyable while we were looking at basically an entire week of quiet weather. And, you know, I mentioned last week that we were in the weather business. And not so much for this week. As a matter of fact, I'll show you why. When we have this dome or this ridge right here, that's high pressure, that skirts the storms around it. Everything has to go, it can't go through it, okay? And so it's actually picked up a little bit, and it's going to give us a pause in the weather. But the West Coast continues busy. Now that's important because that's where the big storms come and hopefully bring us some important rain. So for as big as these things are on the West Coast, from Canada all the way to California, they're looking at stormy weather. And it's going to be a great week for the Western Mountains. It's not going to do much for us. We're going to be slowly seeing more and more sunshine and warmer temperatures as well. So you can take a look at Texas. Nothing happens, but the next 48 hours, we're looking at significant rainfall out in the western states, and you can go all the way through it. There we go on Tuesday. The first storm comes out of the Rockies. You think, okay, our turn, right? No, this is going to go up and over most of Texas, so it's really not going to be beneficial to us. We'll just have to take and enjoy whatever we had over the weekend on Saturday. Of course, the next few days, look at these temperatures getting up to 80, 82, 86, and then 83. A little front comes in on Saturday. That'll knock the temperature down a bit, but not huge. Of course, we've got that fog that we're going to have to deal with again tomorrow morning, starting right after about midnight, and then right along through about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be on the soupy side if you get out there early. Otherwise, we should warm up. In fact, as you can see on this map, we're going Monday, beautiful weather, stormy on the west. We're going Tuesday, beautiful weather, stormy on the west. Wednesday, beautiful weather, another storm on the west. And then we go through Wednesday, and we're still doing real nice here. And so you may have seen that two storms basically went down into California and then up into the northern Rockies. And it's not till Thursday, that's Thursday. Friday is when we have the tail end of a little front actually come through the area. You can see it right about there, and maybe give us a cloud and a sprinkle. But in terms of any real rainfall, it's just not going to happen in the next 7 days. So for those of you who did get probably a half inch to an inch of rain, we had 3/4 officially here in the city. Of course, we had that hail problem as well. But by and large, we got about a little less than an inch in most areas of the crossroads with that activity over the weekend. So let's take a look at your day planner for tomorrow in the Port Lavaca area. Looking for abundant sunshine and no major problems. Looking at 76 as a high temperature. In Cuero, you'll get up to about 80. You'll be a little bit more sunny in the afternoon hours. And we'll take a look at our 7-day forecast. So we've got 80 tomorrow, and then Ash Wednesday, 82. And then 86 and 88. And here on Saturday, we finally cooled down just a bit into the mid 70s. That is your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Shawna.
Stay with us. Straight ahead, a new report reveals what's happening to prices as businesses face pressure from tariffs. A number of companies are raising prices once again. That's reported by the Wall Street Journal. It follows a trend of holding prices steady for holiday shopping. Many retailers cite pressure from tariffs. Some small businesses say they're also grappling with wages and high healthcare costs. Many retailers also increased prices last year after new tariffs took effect. Millions of Americans are now facing higher heating bills after a frigid start to 2026. Demand for heat is up by as much as 150% above normal, according to AccuWeather. The demand is on top of rates already expected to be higher this year because of rising costs for electricity and natural gas. Warner Brothers is reportedly considering reopening talks with Paramount. Bloomberg says members of Warner's board are discussing whether Paramount's latest offer to buy the company might now be better than the deal offered by Netflix. Netflix offered Warner Brothers around $82 billion late last year to purchase the company. Well, SpaceX launched a first stage booster this morning from Cape Canaveral in Florida. Following stage separation, the first stage landed at a station in the Atlantic Ocean. SpaceX's Falcon 9 is aiming to launch 29 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Today's launch was the 10th flight for the first stage booster as part of that mission. Well, Girl Scout cookie season is in full swing across the country, and in Pennsylvania, good luck trying to top the sales of a 6-year-old girl. She has broken the state record by selling more than 81,000 boxes of cookies. Josh Taylor has more on the viral video that has helped her growing success.
Pim wanted to join the Girl Scouts because when she was 3, she saw the girls selling cookies.
Pim has multiple disabilities, but she hasn't let it slow her down. And Pim's dad, Luke, says her path to becoming a Girl Scout wasn't easy.
Our first troop, unfortunately, when we tried to join and asked questions about joining, the lady said that Pim's disabilities would hold back the troop, and they didn't want her to join. So we asked again at another booth, and so they didn't want little girls in their troop because little girls don't show up and help.
But they eventually found the perfect troop in the area.
So we live in the city of Pittsburgh, and we have to travel to the Baldwin-Whitehall area, which we're completely fine with. The troop is a great fit for Pim.
And when Pim's first cookie season came around in January, she hit the ground running.
And then by that first Friday, we had 819 boxes already. Our service unit manager said to us, 819 boxes is probably about her cap until she booths. And I've never seen a daisy, let alone a first-year daisy, sell more than 700 to 1,000 boxes. Challenge accepted.
And then there was that single day that everything changed.
Hi, my name is Pim. Do you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
I'd love to buy some Girl Scout cookies. Did I hear that you sold a lot of cookies yesterday in one day?
Yes.
20,000 boxes sold in 24 hours, all thanks to one video on TikTok.
People on TikTok rallied. They loved her. They adored her. They supported her. And it has been so incredible.
And Pim isn't slowing down anytime soon.
We are over the moon about her progress, who we are able to support. Yes, we are over the moon. It means we're very happy.
And Luke says that's the main goal, to create joy.
Pim's dad added the experience is teaching her the value of hard work and how to succeed as an entrepreneur. So might have to go buy some Girl Scout cookies now. Well, still ahead, billions of people worldwide begin a 15-day celebration as the Lunar New Year kicks off.
Tonight, breaking developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie. What DNA from a glove now reveals the new message of hope from Savannah Guthrie. Plus, how the partial government shutdown is impacting you. And tracking heavy thunderstorms and possible flash flooding. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the #1 newscast in America.
Lunar New Year kicks off tomorrow as the year of the horse begins. Billions of people worldwide will join the 15-day Spring Festival. It's widely considered the most important event of the year in China and Chinese communities around the world. Celebrations vary depending on the country or region, but there are a few common traditions. Some of them include a big dinner with family, cash gifts in red packets for kids, and deep cleaning the home to get rid of bad luck from the past year. I guess that's kind of like spring cleaning here in the U.S.
Yeah, I always like the little red packages with the dollars in them.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad either. So, but speaking of spring cleaning,
Yeah.
it feels a lot like spring out there. We could kind of get an early start if we wanted to.
You probably could do at least half the house this week because we're looking at temperatures pushing the upper 80s, or rather mid 80s, by the time we get to Thursday. So keep in mind Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, and we've got some warming weather all the way through Friday. Now it's slightly cooler as we get to the weekend, but no significant rain expected with that little front on Friday. The one we had last weekend was a strong one, right? The stormy weather that came through on Saturday.
Where I was, it was definitely strong.
Good, there you go.
I was not
yeah.
here in the crossroads. So.
Got about 3/4 of an inch of rain, and that was something better than nothing.
All right, so make sure you wear that sunscreen again.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for 25 News Now at 6 in just 30 minutes.